The most dangerous person is the one who has mastered their energy, because energy is the ultimate currency of life, not time. Time is fixed. It's the same 24 hours for all of us, but energy is variable, expandable, and completely under your control once you learn how to master it. You've met people who have all the time in the world but accomplish very little because their energy is scattered, depleted, or focused on the wrong things. And then there are others who, in just a few hours, create breakthroughs, build businesses, or transform relationships because their energy is fully alive and aligned. The difference isn't intelligence, luck, or resources. It's energy. Every breakthrough you've ever had came when your energy shifted. Maybe it was a moment when you finally decided to stop tolerating something. Maybe it was the day you stopped letting fear run your life. That wasn't just a thought, it was energy rising to a new level. If you look at your own life, you'll notice that nothing changes until your energy changes. You can have the best plan, the perfect strategy, but if your energy is low, that plan dies before it even starts. But if your energy is electric, resourceful, and unshakable, you find a way through any wall. Energy is what fuels your drive, your resilience, your passion. It's what allows you to keep moving when logic says you're done. When someone masters their energy, they're no longer at the mercy of circumstances or emotions. They decide how they feel when they act and how they show up. That's why energy mastery is the real power. Time slips through your hands, but energy can be renewed, expanded, and multiplied if you know how to direct it. Where focus goes, energy flows, and results follow. Think about it. Whatever dominates your attention expands in your life. If you focus on problems, your energy gets pulled into worry, frustration, and doubt. And the more you focus there, the more of those problems you see. But if you direct your focus towards solutions, possibilities, and outcomes, your energy explodes in a different direction. Suddenly the same situation feels completely different, not because the circumstances changed, but because your focus redirected your energy. People often underestimate this. They think they're tired because they lack sleep, but many times they're tired because they're focused on the wrong things. Fear drains energy, anger drains energy. Living in the past drains energy. But when you focus on gratitude, purpose, and what you can control, you literally create more energy in your body. Your nervous system responds, your mind sharpens, and you move with momentum. This is why two people can face the exact same situation and get completely different outcomes. One focuses on the obstacle, gets consumed by it, and collapses under the weight. The other focuses on the opportunity, uses it as fuel, and grows stronger because of it. Mastery of energy begins with mastery of focus, because focus is the steering wheel of energy. When you own your focus, you own your energy, and when you own your energy, you own your life. State management is the secret weapon to peak performance. Every decision you make, every action you take, is driven by the state you're in at that moment. When you're in a low state, tired, stressed, overwhelmed, you make small decisions, you play safe, you hesitate. But when you're in a powerful state, focused, energized, certain, you make bold decisions, you see opportunities, you move with confidence. The difference isn't your skill set, it isn't your resources, it isn't even your intelligence. The difference is the state you choose to live in. People often wait for the world to change before they change their state. They say, when I make more money, I'll feel confident, or when my relationship is perfect, I'll feel loved. But peak performers don't wait for circumstances to line up. They generate the state they need when they need it. They understand that your state is something you can control in an instant. You don't have to wait for the world to change. You change your state, and the world feels different. Think about it. The same challenge, when approached in a weak state, looks impossible. But in a strong state, that same challenge becomes a game, a test, a chance to grow. Mastering your state is mastering your life, because the quality of your state dictates the quality of your decisions, and your decisions shape your destiny. This is why it's the secret weapon, because most people never learn to manage their state. They let external circumstances dictate how they feel. But those who do master it become unstoppable. Emotions are created by motion. The way you use your body directly affects the way you feel. You can't sit slumped over, breathing shallow, staring down, and expect to feel powerful. Physiology controls psychology. Change the way you move, and you change the way you feel. It's not theory, it's science. If you've ever watched athletes before a game, you'll notice they don't just sit quietly hoping to feel ready. They move, they jump, they scream, They get their body into the state that creates certainty and drive. Your body is the fastest access point to your emotion. You can try to think your way into confidence, or you can stand tall, expand your chest, breathe deeply, and within seconds, feel that confidence shift in your nervous system. This is why people who take control of their physical state can shift their emotions in an instant. Movement creates momentum, and momentum creates power. If you've ever been in a moment of fear or anxiety, the first thing that happens is your body shrinks, your shoulders drop, your breathing gets shallow, your voice gets quieter. But if you reverse that pattern, if you open your posture, breathe with intensity, project your voice, you'll notice the fear dissolves because your body is sending your brain a new message. The mind follows the body. The most dangerous person is the one who knows this truth and uses it deliberately. They don't wait to feel motivated. They move their body in a way that generates motivation. They don't wait to feel courageous. They use their physiology to create courage on demand. This is mastery of state and mastery of energy at its core. The quality of your energy determines the quality of your relationships. Every interaction you have is an exchange of energy, not just words. People don't remember most of what you say, but they always remember how you made them feel, and what they felt was the energy you brought into the moment. If you come into a room drained, distracted, or negative, it doesn't matter what you say, people feel that energy and respond to it. But if you enter with certainty, warmth, and presence, people are drawn to you because human beings are wired to respond to energy before logic. Think about the people you love being around. Chances are, it's not because they always have the perfect answers or the best advice. It's because their energy lifts you, it fuels you, it makes you feel more alive. And the opposite is true too. You know people who suck the energy out of the room the moment they walk in. Their words might be polite, but their energy drains you. That's how powerful energy is. It shapes the quality of every connection in your life. When you master your energy, you no longer show up based on how the day's gone. You show up with intention. You decide the energy you will bring into your marriage, into your friendships, into your business. That level of awareness changes everything because relationships thrive not on perfection, but on energy. If you consistently bring passion, playfulness, and love into a relationship, it grows. If you bring stress, fatigue, and indifference, it dies. Energy is the invisible force that builds or destroys every bond you have. Mastering your energy also means mastering how you respond to others. Because let's face it, sometimes people bring chaos, anger, or fear into your space. If you haven't mastered your energy, you get pulled into their state and react the same way. But when you own your energy, you influence theirs instead. You can take an argument and turn it into connection. You can take doubt and turn it into certainty. That's why energy is the most valuable gift you give to the people you love. Mastering your energy turns obstacles into fuel, not roadblocks. Life will never stop bringing challenges. The question isn't whether problems show up, the question is how you respond when they do. Most people see an obstacle and their energy collapses. They focus on what's wrong, they drain themselves with worry, and they get stuck. But those who've mastered their energy know that every obstacle is an invitation to grow stronger. They take the same challenge, but instead of shrinking, they expand. It's not that they don't feel the pressure, they do. It's not that the obstacle magically disappears. It doesn't, but they've trained themselves to convert that energy. Frustration becomes drive, fear becomes focus, doubt becomes strategy. The very thing that stops others becomes fuel for their fire. That's why the most dangerous person isn't the one with no obstacles, it's the one who knows how to use obstacles as energy. You can see this in history, in business, in everyday life. The people who create massive impact are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who meet failure, rejection, setbacks, and turn those moments into power. Their energy doesn't break under stress, it multiplies. While most people slow down when things get hard, these people speed up, they push, they adapt, they find meaning in the struggle. That shift in energy changes everything because suddenly the obstacle is no longer a wall, it's a doorway to the next level. Discipline is energy directed with intention, not suppression. Too many people think discipline means cutting off joy, denying yourself, or living in constant restriction, but real discipline isn't about punishment. It's about channeling your energy so that it serves your vision instead of being scattered in 1,000 directions. Discipline is freedom because it allows you to decide in advance where your energy goes instead of leaving it to impulse or distraction. When you don't have discipline, you give your energy to whatever demands in the moment: social media, worry, gossip, procrastination. But when you do have discipline, you decide what matters most and you commit your energy there. That's when progress happens. Think about it. The greatest athletes, leaders, and creators aren't free of temptation or laziness. They simply direct their energy with clarity. They've trained themselves to link more pleasure to the outcome than to the distraction. That's why they can wake up at 5 a.m. to train or work on a vision long after others have quit. Discipline doesn't feel like suppression when it's driven by purpose. It feels like alignment. You're not forcing yourself to do something you hate. You're aligning your energy with who you truly are and what you want to create. Without discipline, energy leaks everywhere. You might feel motivated one moment and empty the next. But with discipline, you create consistency, and consistency is what compounds energy into momentum. It's the small, disciplined actions done daily that create breakthroughs. Discipline is simply the art of directing energy with intention, and when you master that, you create results that others call impossible. Unshakable energy creates influence. People feel it before they hear it. Long before your words are processed, your energy is being transmitted. Human beings are constantly scanning the people around them, not just through language, but through presence, tone, body language, and vibration. If you walk into a room uncertain, small, and doubtful, people feel it. If you walk in certain, alive, and fully present, they feel that too. Influence begins with energy, not with words. This is why some people can say very little and still move others to action, while others talk endlessly and get ignored. It's not the vocabulary, it's the energy behind the words. Unshakable energy communicates conviction, and conviction is magnetic. People are drawn to those who are certain, not because certainty guarantees correctness, but because certainty creates trust. When your energy is unshakable, you don't just influence others, you inspire them. You give them permission to rise to their own higher standard. Think about leaders throughout history who shifted nations or movements. Their words were powerful, yes, but what truly moved people was the energy behind those words. It was the certainty that radiated from them, the unwavering belief that could be felt before a single sentence was spoken. The same is true in everyday life, in business, in relationships, in family. People aren't influenced by what you tell them to do, they're influenced by the energy you embody. If you're leading a team, they don't just need instructions, they need to feel your conviction. If you're raising children, they don't just hear your words, they absorb your energy. Unshakable energy is influence in its purest form, and once you master it, your very presence begins to shift the people around you. Mastered energy shifts fear into power, doubt into certainty. Fear is universal, but the difference between people who stay stuck and those who break through is how they use it. Most people let fear freeze them. They feel it in their body, their mind starts racing with what ifs, and then their energy collapses. But those who've mastered their energy take that same fear and turn it into fuel. Fear has energy, it's a surge in the nervous system. And when you redirect it, it becomes intensity, focus, and drive. Instead of running from it, you use it. Every major breakthrough in life comes when you stop waiting for fear to disappear and start acting in spite of it. You don't need courage when you're comfortable. You need it when fear shows up. Mastering your energy allows you to step into that fear and transform it. Doubt works the same way. Doubt is simply energy directed toward uncertainty. Left unchecked, it paralyzes you. But when you shift that energy, doubt becomes the spark that drives preparation, practice, and persistence. It forces you to grow into the certainty you're looking for. This is why people who've mastered their energy seem fearless. It's not that they don't feel fear, they've just trained themselves to redirect it so completely that what once felt like a chain now feels like jet fuel. They walk into uncertainty and create certainty through action. Their energy is no longer controlled by fear or doubt. It's guided by vision and belief. That's what makes them powerful, because fear doesn't stop them, it strengthens them. The person who owns their energy owns their destiny. Life is not controlled by circumstances, it's controlled by choices, and choices are driven by energy. Two people can have the same resources, the same opportunities, and end up with completely different lives because of how they manage their energy. One lets stress, distraction, and fear scatter their energy, and they never create momentum. The other channels their energy with clarity, with focus, with consistency, and they build a destiny that others call extraordinary. Owning your energy means no longer being at the mercy of external conditions. It means you decide how you show up, regardless of what's happening around you. Storms will come, setbacks will happen, but when you own your energy, you don't collapse, you rise. That's why the person who has mastered their energy becomes so dangerous, because they're untouchable in a world where most people are reacting. Destiny is not written in the stars, it's written in the states you live in every single day. If your energy is chaotic, your life will be chaotic. If your energy is focused, your life will move forward with purpose. Owning your energy means you can choose passion over apathy, courage over fear, growth over stagnation. And those choices, repeated over time, create a future that others call destiny. The truth is, destiny isn't given, it's created by the energy you master and direct each day of your life. You've seen now that energy is the ultimate force that shapes everything. Not money, not time, not even knowledge by itself. Energy, time without energy is wasted. Knowledge without energy sits unused. Talent without energy dies in frustration. But energy fully aligned, energy that is mastered, can bend circumstances, break limitations, and create a destiny that others cannot even imagine. Think about it. Every single thing you want, success, love, impact, joy, requires energy. The only reason you haven't gotten something yet is because your energy wasn't fully aligned with it. That's not judgment, that's reality. And the most dangerous person isn't the one who has more resources, or who got lucky, or who was born into privilege. The most dangerous person is the one who has learned to master their energy, because when you control that, you control everything else. Most people live in reaction. They wake up, they check their phone, they respond to the world, and they let the environment dictate their state. If something good happens, they feel good. If something bad happens, they collapse. That's living as a prisoner of circumstance. But the person who masters their energy wakes up and decides who they are before the world has a chance to tell them. They prime their state, they direct their focus, they set the tone, and because they lead their energy, their life follows that leadership. This is why I've said that state management is the secret weapon. If you've got the wrong state, you'll sabotage yourself even with the best plan. But with the right state, you'll execute, you'll push, you'll create, even with no plan at all. Because state shapes behavior and behavior creates results. When you learn to manage your state, when you master the ability to shift your energy instantly, you stop waiting for external conditions to line up, and you start creating your own conditions. And it's not just about you, your energy is contagious. Every relationship in your life is being fed or starved by the energy you bring. Your kids don't need perfect parents, they need parents who bring love and presence. Your partner doesn't need someone flawless, they need someone whose energy brings safety, passion, and connection. Your business doesn't need more theory, it needs you to show up every day with unshakable energy that inspires people to believe, to act, to commit. And obstacles, they never go away. Life isn't supposed to be free of challenges. The people who win in life aren't the ones who never face problems. They're the ones who use problems as fuel. They see what others call failure, and they call it training. They take setbacks and turn them into strategy. When most people burn out under pressure, they burn brighter. That's the power of mastered energy. You don't avoid the storm, you use it to grow wings. Some of you might still be thinking, but what if I don't have the energy? And that's the lie most people believe, that energy is something you either have or you don't. That's not true. Energy is generated. You don't wait for it, you create it. Move your body differently, breathe differently, focus differently, and your energy changes. Shift the meaning you attach to an experience, and your energy changes. Step into gratitude, And suddenly the weight of stress disappears because you can't be fearful and grateful at the same time. You have the power to generate energy in this very moment, no matter what your circumstances are. That's why discipline is so powerful. Not because it forces you to suppress yourself, but because it channels your energy into what matters most. The disciplined person isn't the one who says no to everything. They're the one who says yes to what truly matters and directs their energy there consistently over time. And that consistency compounds into momentum. Momentum is when energy builds on itself, and momentum is what creates results that look impossible from the outside. And influence is pure energy. Long before people believe your words, they feel your conviction, they feel your certainty. That's why people follow leaders. They're drawn to the energy. Unshakable energy creates unshakable influence. It makes people believe in you, yes, but more importantly, it makes them believe in themselves. Because when they're in your presence, they feel possibilities they forgot they had. They feel stronger, braver, more alive. That's what happens when you master your energy. You lift others simply by showing up fully. And when fear shows up, because it always will, you don't run from it anymore. You recognize it for what it is. Energy that can be redirected. Fear isn't a stop sign, it's fuel in disguise. Doubt isn't the enemy, it's the beginning of certainty if you master it. Because when you lean into fear instead of running from it, when you transform it into power, you stop being controlled by it. And the moment you do that, you become unstoppable. When you own your energy, you own your destiny. Your life isn't written by chance, it's written by the states you choose to live in, day after day, moment after moment. If you live in low energy, in distraction, in reaction, your destiny will reflect that. But if you choose passion, if you choose focus, if you choose gratitude and drive, you write a destiny that no one can take from you. So the question isn't whether you'll face obstacles, it isn't whether fear will show up, it will. The real question is, will you be the person who reacts or the person who leads? Will you be the person who scatters their energy across distractions, or the person who channels it into their vision? Will you be the person who waits for energy to come, or the one who generates it on command? Because the most dangerous person in any room isn't the one with the loudest voice, the most money, or the biggest following. The most dangerous person is the one who has mastered their energy. They can create certainty in chaos. They can turn obstacles into fuel. They can transform fear into power. They can lift others simply by showing up. And they can write a destiny that is entirely their own, because energy is life, and they have learned to master it.